So let's have a look at this, and I'll just quickly go through the DIS and C, and for those who haven't done it, you might be able to self-select, all right, in terms of which one of these you most likely are. Basically, we've got the dominant style, all right, the high D behaviours and the low D behaviours. So whether you're high or low, you'll all have a degree of this behavioural style in you, but some will have it very high and some will have it at a quite low level. D is basically defining how you approach issues, challenges, problems, people, situations. So a high D coach, when they go about doing their coaching and they see an athlete step outside of that behavioural guideline, what do? Straight onto it. Okay, a low D coach, what do? Remember, they're not as direct. They don't approach it directly, so they might consult with their fellow coaches. They might sleep on it. They make time to make a decision as to, well, I wonder what would be the right course of action here. What's the right approach? There isn't a right approach. Everything is situational. And so the key thing about DISC is understanding what your strengths are, what your patterns are, but then being able to make an adaptation. And so approaching something too directly could give you a really negative outcome. Not dealing with it could also give you a really negative outcome. And that's the skill of being a great coach, to be able to read the situation. Because the last thing that we want you doing as a coach, same as your athletes, the last thing we want you doing is just operating on autopilot. I mean, some patterns of behaviour you repeat every single day that you won't even know that you've got. For example, when you wake up in the morning, and it looks like you all did this, you woke up in the morning and you put your shoes and socks on. How did you do that? I mean, seriously, right sock, right shoe, left sock, left shoe.
It's a learned behaviour.
Well, it is a learnt behaviour. I've got young daughters, one's 5 and the other one's 7. 5-year-old's worked it out now. Yeah, she's got it all sorted, so that's how smart my kids are. All right, but hopefully you've worked it out by that age, right? And then it's not something that you spend a lot of time thinking about. I mean, if you know, that's not a bad thing, but you probably may need to spice your life up a little bit if that's a pattern of behaviour that you're focusing on. If you mix up your day by swapping it around a little bit, that's fine. But at the end of the day, it's not a pattern that we need to understand, but how you interact with your athletes, that's a pattern too. And so is that a pattern which is giving you great results? Is it giving you a good outcome, or is it perhaps creating some issues? Are you too direct? Or are you not direct enough? You need to weigh up the situation and make a choice. Okay?